So hi, my name's Eric Itis. I'm the CEO and co-founder of PupPod, and we've built the world's first multi-species gaming platform for lonely and bored dogs that are out there. And with COVID, there was a huge uptick in dogs, in dog adoptions, and now that the pandemic is starting to unwind, separation anxiety is becoming a really big issue. And out of those 67 or 69 million households that have a dog, almost a third of them are at home alone for most of the day. And pet parents, they want a solution to this. They feel really guilty when their dog's left home alone throughout the day, and so they're looking for other options. And the most common option is to send their dogs to daycare or to get a dog walker. And they're spending hundreds of dollars a month with this solution. But it's really expensive and it's labor intensive. And so we've got a better idea. Now, as most new ideas, they come from personal experience and your background. And this was my first dog, Puccini. And he would bark at dogs on TV all the time. We saw him on TV. But one day, we're watching a cartoon, and he starts barking at a cartoon dog. And it got me thinking, what is going on in his brain? And in hindsight, there was a lot more than I even realized. Now, my experience building the early smartphone devices at Motorola and at Microsoft allowed me to experience building a big new product category. And I was seeing people use tablets and smartphones to entertain their kids, and I thought, why can't we bring technology to the world to help pet parents? And so it became obvious to me that there was going to be this new big product category that didn't exist yet for smart and connected pet products. So we started building PupPod. And pet parents can play with their dogs and their pets from anywhere, and the pets aren't sitting home bored all day. They're able to have the mental stimulation that they crave. Now, what we're also betting on is that the consumer preferences for buying pet products are going to shift from buying pieces of plastic that have no technology or stuffed animals to these smart, connected pet products. And when that occurs, the whole industry is going to need a platform to connect to, and that's where PupPod comes in, longer term. It's a big vision to build a big company. Now, over the next few years, millennials and Gen Zs are going to be 60% of pet parents, and it's not a big leap to see that they're going to want to look for technology solutions in order to meet the needs of their pets and be great pet parents. So let me give you a quick video, and we'll show you a little bit how PupPod works. So in the beginning, the dog just has to go and touch the toy up here on stage. And when they touch the toy at the right time, they earn food rewards from a connected feeder. And you can control the whole game from your smartphone. And we use a combination of lights and sounds and timing to create this puzzle that gets incrementally harder as the dog learns. So the dog's not going to get bored. The pup, when you see Ollie come out, he's been playing for over 4.5 years. And the game can keep getting more challenging, and we can keep rolling out new features. And we've already rolled out multiple updates to the feeder and the toy software to keep bringing out new functionality. And this is just the first product in our roadmap. Now, as we become more and more successful, we're going to see competitors come and try to copy us. So we have a very deep moat to protect our competitive advantages. Now, being first to market allows PupPod to get that mental space for this category. But we've also won innovation awards from Purina and from the Kansas City Animal Health Investment Forum because of the innovation that we brought to market. Now, we've worked with hundreds of dog trainers and pet professionals, and they love this product. They love to recommend it to their clients because they all believe in puzzle toys. They love to use puzzle toys for feeding meals, and they see PupPod as the future of puzzle games. As part of the funding from our current round, we're going to be building out more community and more competitive features over the next year, which are really going to drive viral adoption. And we're already bringing more science-based games and cognition into the product. We're already building some new levels that are based on a partnership we have with the University of Arizona's Canine Cognition Center to bring in more science and associate the PupPod brand with science. Now, today, we're selling the hardware. We make revenue from selling hardware, But as part of our current funding round, we're also going to be rolling out a subscription feature. So like lots of other products you use, there's going to be a subscription for new digital services. And we're also in the process of signing up our first licensee to the platform, which is a really capital-efficient way to grow the number of users on the platform. And so our business model looks a lot like Xbox, where Microsoft sells first-party games, and they also have a subscription service like Xbox Live for all the community, and then they license out access to third parties. So we're doing a lot of those same pieces to the formula. Now, while there's other pet products out there trying to come into this space, nobody comes close to us in terms of the features that we provide and the functionality and the price point. And we've had some amazing traction. We started selling this version of the product back in a holiday of last year, and we've already sold over 1,500 units to customers, and those customers have generated over 1.6 million minutes of gameplay. They're using the product a lot. We had 67% of the customers active in September, and for our average customers, they're using the product for 32 minutes a day. It's really hard to get that kind of interest in people's lives for them to start using a product for that much. Now, if you see on the chart here where the sales shoot straight up, that was when we had a video go viral on TikTok, and our sales literally went up 10x overnight. So we know that when there's awareness, there's demand. When we drive awareness, there's demand. Now, we believe that PupPod can get to $80 million in sales and a $25 million EBITDA in the next 5 years. We've raised $1.3 million to date, and we're raising a $5 million round now, mainly for sales and marketing, which we'll use in part to hire a CMO, to develop our marketing framework, to add new channels, and to expand our affiliate program that's working really well. And the team that's bringing all this technology to market are a group of seasoned technology experts who've had a lot of our career at Microsoft, as well as Dr. Mugford, who's one of our strategic investors. And so Kandarp and Aman and I have all shipped products, consumer electronics, software platforms that have scaled to hundreds of millions of users with our time at Microsoft. And Dr. Mugford has been selling pet products and inventing pet products for the last 40 years. So with that, let me invite Rachel and Ali out on stage, and we will give you a little demo. I'm happy to answer questions while Ali's giving us a demo. Hey there.
All right, you win.
I do have to apologize for whoever follows me because it's hard to follow Ali. All right, so I just started the game, and hey, come on, come here, come on. You gotta do your job. So when Ali hears the toy make a noise, he'll hit the toy, and then he gets a reward. And so he's waiting for the toy. Every 10 seconds, the toy will play a little squeaky sound, which may be a little hard to hear in the back. And he knows that when the toy, he doesn't need to hit the toy until it makes the sound because he's been playing for so long. So we put it at another level. But in the beginning, a dog just comes out and just touches the toy, and then they start learning the connection between the toy and the feeder.
So this is a platform that people could make additional games on top of?
Exactly, yeah.
So I could get one so the dog would give me a treat.
What's that?
I could make one where I could get the treat from the dog.
Well, we have multiplayer games where humans and dogs can play together, dogs and cats can play together, multiple dogs can play together. This is really the beginning of a multi-species gaming platform.
Have you ever had, I'm going to say a canine client, like attack the biscuit machine and like try to get all the biscuits out?
So that's a very easy problem for a human to avoid from happening. There's hooks on the back of the feeder, and you can just mount it on a wall. You can put it up on a high shelf.
I would definitely have to do that. I have a very, very hungry golden at home right now. Wow, this is so special. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I say I need to buy my dog a cell phone, I'd be a venture capitalist, quite honestly. I've been waiting for something like this for a long time. So, usage statistics based on human or dog interaction. Great question. Are those usage statistics that you talked about, are those the human usage minutes or dog usage minutes?
So we're tracking everything in the system. It's an IoT cloud platform. We know every time the toy makes a beep. We know every time the dog touches a toy. We know every time a food reward is dispensed. We know how dogs are progressing through the different cognition challenges in the game. And so for all of you that put your hand up because you had a dog, now you know what you're going to do tonight when you go home after another drink and go buy a PupPod. And for anyone who didn't raise their hand, now you know what you're going to get your friends for the holidays.
I'm pretty sure you have the best usage statistics of any app anywhere.
No
because the dog's
kidding.
going to just sit there and
No
wait
kidding.
for it.
So how does this situation relate to cats? Now that's a whole other world.
Oh, we have cats that play too. We've had pigs, chickens, horses, any animal that can be clicker trained can play the game. Yeah, if you go on our Facebook page, you'll see a video we posted just last week with the cats playing.
Okay, and so you're making this happen. So he's not going to like go through the whole thing of biscuits. Is that right?
I just turned the game on. I can make it more difficult from my phone. I can increase the level, and then at other levels of the game, it's not this simple.
My retriever would be 192 pounds by Friday,
well,
like next week.
So here's what we advise people, is you want to feed your dog a normal meal. This is just his kibble that he's working for. So rather than your dog eating their meal out of a bowl and then passing out, now they're getting activity. And in our living room, Ollie would walk about a mile at each meal. So now your dog's eating the same calories they would normally eat, but they're getting extra exercise and mental stimulation.
Wow. Wow. Okay, are there any other rewards besides food? I don't know. I'm like, what could that be?
There are other things in our roadmap. Some of them in our patent, but food is the obvious one. So that's where we started.
It's like scented soaps or like what?
Well, yeah. Food is the most encouraging one, but there are some dogs that don't and animals that aren't as food motivated. So there's other ideas. I won't release them all in a public forum, but there are other ideas besides food rewards that we have planned.
Can you see PupPod moving into training, pup dog training, maybe fueled by AI?
Yeah, so we work actually very closely with dog trainers because dog trainers really like this kind of product when people go home. Ollie's level of concentration is off the chart, from playing this game from so much. And so what dog trainers love is that a dog that's eating their meals this way is much more trainable because they can concentrate for much longer, amongst a bunch of other scenarios. It's also, dog trainers will use this for like separation anxiety, weight reduction, giving your dog more mental stimulation so they're not bored, not getting into trouble. There's a whole bunch of behavioral benefits when the dogs are just tired, when they get a good workout.
My dog ate, he stayed with some caretakers last week. He ate all of the tortillas and all of the bread when they left him alone. There was some separation anxiety. I really wish I had this for them. They were like, well, we had an issue. I'm like, I told you he was going to do that. But wow. So, and then what about like when you're mobile, like when you're out walking around, is this something that could become like usable like out on the trail or?
I mean, it's really meant for when your dog's at home. What we do find is that a lot of people who are working from home will let their dogs earn their meals when they're in Zoom calls because as the other person on the end of your Zoom call thinks the Zoom call is much more interesting than your dog does. So if you've gotten that cold nose poke you in the elbow when you're on calls all day, this is the solution for that problem too.
Absolutely. Okay, I want to ask this question because I'm curious about the answer. Do you have a solution for someone who has 2 dogs?
Oh yeah. As long as the dogs don't have any food aggression or resource guarding, they can play together. And you will see fascinating communication between your dogs when they start playing the game together. And in some cases, people will let their dogs play one at a time, and that lets one dog learn patience while the other dog is playing. So it's in a multi-dog
like doubles
household.
volleyball.
And we have future games coming out that will be for multiple dogs. So that pack mentality of the dogs working together will be able to deliver games that leverage that inherent capability too.
Wow. Well, I just think this is so special, and partly it's because I'm obsessed with dogs, and you really won me over with Ollie. So thank you so much. This is awesome, and I'm wishing you the best of luck.